Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Resident Evil Code Veronica. That dudes and dudettes is Alexander Ashford. You wanna know how he ended up like that? Well, let's just say this is pretty much the result of what happens when you try and bond the T-Veronica virus with a human body. As you can see, it didn't work out well because not only did Alexander Ashford lose his luscious locks of red hair, but now he's also got a surprisingly cool design. Like, he looks like a weird mixture between, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 Riku mixed with Darth Scion from Knights of the Old Republic 2, and, yeah. Again, if you read one of the Workman's diaries, they pretty much nicknamed this mysterious creature, Nosferatu, which is kind of weird though, because he doesn't display any, vampiric qualities and has very little in the way of resemblance to anything, really. Like, whether Dracula or Count Orlok or whatever you want to qualify as Nosferatu. But, yeah. How exactly he ended up like this, we'll find out later. But in the meantime, though, well, we're pretty much just clearing up a few things here. And again, as you'd expect, with a boss who's, quite literally chained up and looks like he could easily escape at any moment, yeah, there's a fair bit to say. But, for the time being, I want to make a few things all about Steve. And not that shitty Sandra Bullock movie. I mean, Steve Burnside. If his dad didn't betray Umbrella and he got to live a normal life, I bet he'd be a dreamboat. Except for people who hate his voice. And I have no idea why I'm still talking like this. But, yeah, I have a few things to say about him. Mainly with this, one scene coming up and a few other points of interest later on. Why am I talking about Steve so much right now? Who knows, but I think we should just appreciate his presence a little while longer while he's still around, because god dang it, he's been with us for so long, and I just enjoy his company. So, yeah, enjoy more Steve.
Claire, it looks like there's an Australian observation base about 7 miles away from here. That should be our target.
Then if we can break through the wall with that digging vehicle, we might have a chance.
Okay, let's do it!
Steve, watch out!
No! It's toxic gas!
Come on!
It's all my fault.
Don't say that. Listen to me. We'll escape from here. Together. Come on. We've got to shut off the gas. If we split up, we'll have a better chance of stopping it.
Okay.
Steve! Don't forget. We'll get out of here. Together.
Now, if you didn't grab the gas mask earlier, your plot would have been arbitrarily extended by what, like 2 minutes? Oh no. But if you did grab the gas mask ahead of time, you can pretty much go back in there, and, ordinarily I would criticize Steve for, you know, basically fucking everything up and making things take longer, but at the same time, like, I mean, Claire's kind of got a big, how you say, badonkadonk, so, like, I mean, well, personally, I don't blame him for getting distracted, because, I mean, when you've got an ass like, hello, but a body like, heyo, I'm gonna get distracted and crash the vehicle, which, didn't suffer any damage. But, I mean, at the same time, though, like, I mean, not to be pervy or anything, but, like, looking at Claire's figure, she seems like the type of woman who would legitimately ask if her butt looks big in these jeans, not, like, out of, like, sexism or anything, but literally because she wants to know whether or not her buttocks looks big and juicy and plump within the confines of those denim pantaloons. But in any case, since we need to reconfigure the square-shaped valve with the octagonal hole, basically this is where the metal lathe comes in. And would you believe that we're gonna change this back at a later point in the game? God fucking damn it. But anyway, onto the trivia about Steve. Basically, it's also to do with one of his original designs. I'm gonna show you the concept art right here, but, yeah. Get a look at this dude. Like, honestly, it's kind of weird to see him look like this, because he legitimately looks like a character out of fucking Skies of Arcadia, and, well, I mean, it's markedly different from his Leon S. Kennedy hairstyle look here, so, kinda curious why they didn't keep the blonde hair. Well, then again, I suppose since Leon had a tinge of the blonde in Resident Evil 4, maybe that was why they axed it, or maybe it was a creative choice to base Steve's hairstyle off popular 90s trends. Who knows? Maybe we could have died and saved ourselves the trouble, but hopefully Steve won't die, because that's just silly. And also another thing to talk about with Steve, I did kind of talk about this, at least albeit somewhat jokingly in the past, but yeah, Steve's voice actor Bill Houston. Like, I mean, I know it's Pavlovian to mock his voice for basically, like, sounding Canadian as fuck and trying very desperately to sound strained and whiny, but there is a bit of a reason for that. And it's namely the fact that Bill Houston was in his 30s when he was voicing the 17-year-old Steve Burnside, and again, as we learned from Roger Craig Smith, whenever you try and voice teenage characters, when especially you yourself have a very low vocal register, yeah, it's basically gonna sound a bit hollow and forced. Like, I mean, if I was gonna try and talk like this, you know, it's just not gonna sound convincing. Well, maybe in some cases, but again, it really depends on the person. I can't remember who voices him in, I think it was like Darkside Chronicles, but yeah, again, I can't really judge comparison here. Bill Houston's the only one I'm familiar with. And even then, I don't think Darkside Chronicles is canon anyway, at least not to the main games, but nah, whatever. Get off. Unhand me. Only Steve may touch Claire's badonkadonk. And yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote, really. Again, like, I mean, this is pretty much the last thing we have to deal with this area. I mean, we've got a few cutscenes coming up, and, that's all we gotta do. Just... Well, again, there is one thing I will also suggest. Like, after this next cutscene, again, if you want to save for the upcoming encounter, be sure to do so, but make sure that you do it before picking up, well, a certain special weapon that we only get to use at this one point in the game, and never again. And there's, actually a bit of training for the final boss, actually, so, make sure you're adept at using it. But, enjoy the cutscene.
We're safe now. Think again, Claire.
I shall enjoy watching you shriek in agony.
Not this time!
You game!
What was that?
And of course, with the death of his son, well, Alexander Ashford has apparently decided that, enough is enough, and you may burn my eyes and I'll burn your soul, as he finally breaks free of his bonds, and, yeah. As you can see, not quite similar to the G-Virus in the sense that it's like a massive growth that extends across all of his body, the T. Veronica virus is very much one based upon, well, the ant research, which at the very least, either the T. Veronica virus or I believe the progenitor virus was initially inspired from. I guess maybe in the T. Veronica virus's case it was pretty much experimented on based on ants, but the point is, yeah. Alexander Ashford is kinda kappa pissed. Make sure you pick up that sniper rifle because, well, at least in regards to the upcoming boss fight, there is a very specific caveat with the Dreamcast version compared to any other version of Resident Evil, and, well, depending on your skill level, things can play out quite differently, but, yeah, make sure you save before picking this up, because otherwise you won't have a chance to go back otherwise, because Steve beckons you forth, and, because of the fact that he wants to slap that badonkadonk, well, you gotta obey him.
Are you ready? I'm gonna bust through that wall!
Go for it!
Right. Claire, maybe we can escape through there.
Come on, let's go!
Claire, come on! Finally, we can get out of this insane place.
Okay, let's go!
Come on, let's go! What, are you scared? Move it! Ah! Ah!
Steve! Hold on. I'll waste that monster and come back.
Claire, forget about me. Run!
Depending on how resilient you are with the sniper scope, you're gonna be seeing something quite different. I'll point out what happens if you aren't very good, but because, again, Nosferatu basically works on, well, sound. He's blind, so he can't see where you are, but he is, you know, very aware of your sound. So again, if you're running away, or again, if you're making too much noise with your weapons, he'll know where you are. But again, if you're very good with the sniper rifle and pick your target, namely the gaping hole in his chest, shoot that about 3 or 4 times, and you will get a very specific cutscene that you'll actually be seeing. But again, failure to basically do it within that time limit and get yourself attacked by his little poison spits, and, well, that leads to a specific side quest. But again, if you're quick on the draw and can basically kill him quickly, yeah. Points to the Dreamcast version for reasons that I'll point out a little bit later. There is also another variant of this cutscene with the knife, which shows an alternate variant of Claire, basically stabbing him in the heart, but I'll show you what I mean here.
I've got you now.
And that, dear children, is yet another pressing reason as to why Claire Redfield is basically my favourite Resident Evil character. Oh, and by the way, you don't need to worry about Steve falling off because he literally has impeccable arm strength. Like, dude, you are my hero.
Steve! Are you alright?
Claire! You're alive! I'm sorry. I failed you.
Don't worry about it. Let's go.
I swear I'll protect you next time, Claire.
We did it! We're finally out!
Look! There's a snowmobile over there!
Perfect! We'll be able to ride right over to the Australian base with this.
Yeah! Let's go!
Don't forget about this, Claire. Alexia. Alexia, you're finally awake. Alexia.
What is that?
Oh god. Creepy Alexia Ashford incest, clearly reciprocated feelings, pain, scariness, naked! Which otherwise would have been sexy and hot, but in this case it ain't. I'm Solidus-Skully, keeping new metal. See you next time on the Veronica commentary. Bye-bye.